Across the Silver State, security at state buildings is being beefed up after a threatening letter was sent to the governor's office. We have team coverage of the changes from Carson City all the way down to Las Vegas. Good evening, everyone. The governor's office says they received a letter threatening to commandeer state offices, and the FBI says all 50 governor's offices around the country may be facing a similar situation. So our state offices are taking action. News 4's Andrew Del Greco joins us now with a look at the changes in the state capitol. Andrew?
Joe, the governor's office says there is no specific threat of violence in the letter, but nevertheless, the office felt it was necessary today to close down all entrances to the Capitol building except the main entrance. But at that entrance, they beefed up security. Typically, people who want to tour the historic state Capitol building can walk right in, but today an X-ray machine and a metal detector were brought in to heighten security. Every person was screened and their bags were checked. The governor's office reported that the letter from the so-called Sovereign Citizens Group is part of a nonviolent movement, but they threatened to commandeer state offices. The FBI says the letters are going out to every governor in America, basically telling them to resign now, the group says. Now, the Anti-Defamation League says that the Sovereign Citizens Group movement is a loosely organized collection of groups that seek a minimalist government. They wage war against authority using paper terrorism, harassment, and intimidation tactics. The Anti-Defamation League says they will occasionally resort to violence. Joe?
All right, thanks, Andrew. And that letter didn't just mean tighter security in Carson City. Down in Las Vegas, the governor was surrounded by extra officers today. And as Steve Krupe from our station in Las Vegas reports, the threat meant a level of security we rarely see here in Nevada.
At every corner of the building and every entrance to the governor's office complex in Las Vegas, the security presence was unmistakable, the result of a letter received by Capitol Police on Monday telling the governor to resign and swear his allegiance to a right-wing group that planned to, quote, commandeer state offices.
What can you tell me?
Well, first of all, I can say that we've received word from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, that myself and 49 other governors should be looking at, under the short term, an increase in their security for various reasons. We have complied with that. You've noticed that there is an increased presence of security, and basically it is a choice that was asked upon us by the federal government.
The FBI apparently believes that governors in all 50 states may be getting similar letters this week. As a precaution, extra Capitol Police officers and NHP troopers are guarding state offices both in Las Vegas and Carson City. A member of the governor's staff says despite the threatening tone of the letter, the group claims to be a nonviolent movement. It may be affiliated with something called the Sovereign Citizens. Last year, federal agents raided the Las Vegas home of a man connected with that movement, confiscating multiple weapons. Authorities describe the movement as a right-wing anti-government group that believes the U.S., as currently set up, is a fraud.
Again, that was Steve Krupe reporting and taking a closer look now at the Sovereign Citizens Movement. It originated with the ideology of an anti-Semitic group that was popular in the Midwest in the late 70s and 80s. Now, they claim they are not subject to most taxes and aren't citizens of the U.S. Instead, they call themselves non-resident aliens, saying they can't be tried for crimes in which there is no complaining victim and are only subject to common law courts. Most also refuse to get Social Security cards, register their cars, carry driver's licenses, or use zip codes. And some of the more famous members of the Sovereign Citizens Movement include Oklahoma City bombing conspirator Terry Nichols and also members of the Montana Freemen.